Dear Commissioner Schmid, dear ministers and representatives, dear colleagues and participants, ladies and gentlemen, it is a true honor and a great pleasure to be with you today for the opening of the 2022 Forum on Vocational Excellence here in San Sebastian. And I would first like to congratulate the Basque authorities, vocational education institutions, businesses and partners for their exceptional commitment in this field. The most worrying political challenge that we have the collective responsibility to face is what the French political scientist Jérôme Fourquet calls the danger of archipelization of our societies. We have to find a way to solve the disintegration of our democracies, largely linked to social, educational, and territorial disparities. In other words, the divide between the integrated peoples that find their way in the labor market, the international environment, who are often graduates, and those who feel excluded from the path of success. This divide has a clear and tragic political consequence: the growing incapacity of democratic society to form decision-making majorities. This difficulty to act fuels the threat of populism and the false, easy solutions that are their stock in trade. In front of this challenging context, I have two good news for you. First, education and training have never been so high in the European Union agenda. That's why we are, for the first time in the history of the European Union, building a European education area that will be fulfilled in 2025. At least, the European Union has begun to realize that education and training are not an expenditure, but a powerful investment. At least, the European Union has begun to realize that education and training are not a cherry on the European cake, but constitute strategic and vital stakes. Second good news, vocational excellence has become a truly European subject. I can testify that we are going through a real change of mindset in recognizing VET as a pathway of excellence and strategic investment. As co-author of the European Education Area report of the European Parliament, I convinced my colleagues of the European Parliament to create a functioning European VET area on the same footing as higher education. The 400 million euros that the Commission has decided to invest in the centres of vocational excellence, with the support of European Parliament, but especially of our Commissioner, that I thank in our name, and that we are here to celebrate, illustrates this new priority very concretely. It's a true driving force for the sector, and I salute the Basque country for their leadership. These centres have the power to give structure to skills ecosystems across the Union, make regional and local dynamics flourish, most importantly, make VET students, trainers and companies match their needs while encouraging mobility of pedagogy, ideas and people. I know that pedagogical exchanges between teachers have developed and have been even strengthened by the pandemic, that has had at least the advantage to allow us to become more familiar with the new technology tools. These exchanges are extremely important. But my message to you today is that apprentices have to experience themselves European mobility. When, as members of parliament, we have secured the doubling of the Erasmus Plus budget, our ambition was not simply quantitative, it was also qualitative, to enable those that are the furthest from Europe to appropriate Erasmus. It is a political priority of the two committees I belong to, the Committee of Culture and Education and the Committee of Employment, to dedicate considerable amounts to Erasmus Plus Pro. Why am I so attached to the mobility of apprentices? One, it is a way to develop their sense of belonging to a concrete Europe. Second, it enables them to enlarge their professional knowledge and skills. Three, it reinforces drastically the attractivity of the VET, because today, excellence and international mobility are interlinked. But I would like to insist on the last reason. European mobility will allow them to acquire what UNESCO calls the competences of the 21st century. The ability to communicate, to adapt to an unknown environment, to innovate, to take initiative, to cooperate in a team, to go out from one's comfort zone, to gain self-confidence. And let me illustrate that by a recent story. In a vocational school that I visited, a young girl from a diverse background spoke as mobility ambassador with eloquence and insight to her peers about all that mobility has brought her. I questioned the school principal, winking that he has put the brightest kid forward to impress. He replies by saying that this girl was on the verge of dropping out of school or even radicalization. She had returned absolutely transformed from her European experience. The stakes are thus social and political. Ladies and gentlemen, I had a dream. For the realization of a social Europe, I called in the European education area for a framework of psychosocial skills on the same model as the one on basic digital skills, with the idea of a recognition by all employers and academic authorities thanks to a micro-credential. These psychosocial skills would be acquired during a European mobility or a period of social or civic engagement. This dream that I share with you, and particularly with Commissioner Schmidt and our Spanish friends that will be in charge of the presidency of European Council from June 2023, could become a reality. It could constitute a precious lever to convince the young people and the families that are reluctant to European mobility, because it will bring a concrete benefit in terms of employability. Furthermore, it will not need a complex process of mutual recognition, because it will be built at a European level and have a universal value. It could be a concrete step to be taken in 2023, the European Year of Skills, in support of our youth, adding a considerable string to their bow. As you have understood, valorizing and modernizing VET in the direction of greater flexibility in line with economic needs is a priority for me. And the battle continues. I am happy to share with you that I will be the co-author of the next Parliament report on fostering and adapting vocational training as a tool for employees' success and a building block for the European Union economy in the new Industry 4.0. I am looking forward to our visit to Technica and to our exchanges that will be precious to feed my reflection. And I wish you a wonderful and most successful forum on vocational excellence. And thank you for your attention.